Welcome to this last topic of our course. In this topic, I am going to talk about ultimate VR AR system. So, what could be ultimate VR AR? Ultimate in the sense there are no better than this particular AR VR systems. It's like it's just a futuristic system. It doesn't exist, but we want to think about it, right? What is required in the ultimate virtual reality systems or augmented reality systems? In my definition, that is going to be without any gadgets. So, in the futuristic ultimate VR AR, it does not need a HMD, it does not need the gloves, it does not need the surround systems, but still we feel the fully immersive environments. We are able to interact with all the objects in the system. That is what would be the ultimate virtual reality systems. Again, the cost also can be without anything means the cost can be minimal, right? Is it first of all possible is a question we want to answer. So, I'm trying to end this as a course with a question in your mind. I want to instill this question in your mind, and then I would like you to think about this futuristic system which may not be possible at all, or it you can come up with some solutions to make it possible. Okay. In this ultimate system without any gadgets, that may be possible if you look at the virtual reality from this way. In the whole course, we have focused on the user. Focus is on the user. So, we have designed the HMD for the user. We have designed the interaction techniques for the user, because the user is the center. The user has to feel the fully immersive environments, the fully interactive environments, right. So, the user, to be more specific, so without the psychophysics we would not come up with the numbers what is just enough for the user, right. So, to be even more precise, I am going to even more further down refine in the requirements or refine the focus is going to be something like the knower. Who is the perceiver? The whole gadgets or the whole techniques what we have learned in this course is for the perceiver. There is a perceiver in you, there is a knower in you, and we have designed the entire gadgets for this knower, for this perceiver. Okay. And this perceiver or the knower is also called the mind. Okay. So, do we know the properties of this perceiver or the knower or the mind? We know the properties of the eyes, physiological properties of the eyes. We know the properties of the ears, physiological properties, psychophysics of the eyes we saw, psychophysics of the ears we saw, psychophysics of the haptics we saw, right. But do we know the properties of the mind? Do we know the properties of the perceiver, knower? Do we have a system specification for the mind? Once we have a complete understanding, then and we can build a better virtual reality system or haptic systems. So, we need to move from periphery to the interior. Okay. So, as of now the state of the art research in virtual reality and AR is in this stage, the periphery, eyes, ears and haptics, but the future technologies can and move into knowing the mind directly. Okay. So, in one of the technologies, for example, Magic Leap is directly rendering the visual scene onto the eyes without the display. So, we are going one step into the eyes, the retina rendering, right. So, one more step would be directly going to stimulate the visual cortex, right. But the ultimate one would be now going inside at the mind and then making the perceiver believe that a particular virtual environment is existing. That is possible only when and we understand the mind much better. Okay. Do we have an understanding of a mind? The answer is big no. In the Western system of sciences, mind does not exist at all. Okay. Whereas in India, we call this mind, this knower or the perceiver, as somebody called the God. We are marketing the knower, the mind or the perceiver as somebody is called God. We have now religionized this concept of the mind as God. We built temples in India, so many temples in India specifically to tell that the mind or the perceiver is nothing but the God. The God is within each one of us, because the perceiver is the God. The perceiver, there are many properties of the gods which is told as in many of the literatures, many of the customs. So, each god, each property is portrayed as a different god, but essentially the same, the same knower, the same perceiver, the same mind. Okay. So, even the churches are built to inform you that the God is nothing but the yourself, the knower, the perceiver. Okay. In fact, as many of you know, India is the spiritual capital of the whole world. Most of the religions and have origins over here in India. Okay. So, essentially because we have a good understanding of what mind is, what the knower is, what the perceiver is, what the God is. But unfortunately, in the name of the religion, we do not question the concept of the God. We need to come over the concept of the God and then look into the concept of the mind, the perceiver or the knower. Okay. Once the understanding of the mind is already there in India, but the only thing is we need to come over the concept of the religion or the concept of the God. Once we have this once we understand the full properties of the mind, then and we can exploit or we can develop technologies to render virtual reality and augmented reality directly into the mind. Let me give you an example of one of the experiments we have done and some time back. So, in this experiment we have used hypnosis. We wanted to see whether hypnosis can lead to analgesia effect. Analgesia is means painless effect. So, how do we avoid pain using hypnosis? Is that first of all true? There are some claims, we wanted to see whether that is true. So, we have taken some 10 subjects and then inserted needle inserted needle into the hands of the subjects. Obviously, when the needle is inserted, the subjects will feel the pain, but when the subjects are hypnotized, do they feel the pain is a question. Okay. So, we have measured the pain with GSR, galvanic skin response. We have measured the hypnotic status using EEG, a particular frequency band which will ensure that the subject is in the hypnosis. What we found is that when the subject is in the hypnotic state, they do not feel the pain. So, hypnosis is true, and it leads to analgesia effect was the experiment, the conclusion, and we derived some 10 years ago. Okay. So, how does this hypnosis is working? Hypnosis is true is what the conclusion of maybe true is the conclusion of our experiment 10 years ago. But now how does this hypnosis work? Essentially it is manipulating the mind. So, as far as this how the mind is working, there is a black box for hypnosis. We do not know how the mind is working, but still the effect is known in the hypnosis. So, we have extended this analgesia effect of the hypnosis even to render the forces. So, if I hypnotize a subject and then tell them that there is a particular virtual object, then they could feel the real forces in their hands. Okay. So, similar experiment is done in our collaborators experiment also. There is a collaborator in Harvard in psychology department. He has done a very interesting experiment in which he has shown black and white photographs to subjects. When they are hypnotized, the subjects see color photograph. He could hypnotize the subjects in order to make them see the color photographs. Similarly, he could show the real color photographs to the subjects, hypnotize them, and then make them see black and white photographs. So, they see a color photo or the black and white photo which is not real. The physical stimulus may not be the one what we are actually seeing it, right. So, without even any of these things, without this input stimulus, we can make them it is possible to make the subject see the photographs, color photographs or the black and white photographs. Okay. How does this mind work is still a mystery as far as the hypnosis is concerned, whereas in India the mind is understood very well. Only thing is it is packaged as a religion or a god. We need to come out of that packaging and then get into the, you need to look at this concept from the scientific point of view and then develop technologies as far as the virtual reality is concerned. Okay. So, the ultimate virtual reality or AR systems, as India is the only place where the mind is understood very well. So, you could be the no, whoever is watching this ultimate virtual reality or augmented reality systems. I will stop here with best wishes for you to have a great career in virtual reality and augmented reality. Thank you. Bye.